Welcome to Tape 10, and you're going to be glad you listened to this segment of the Lobby of the Mind. Remember, faith is the fuel for hope. And if you don't have any faith, it won't generate that fuel. I mean, what would a race car be without fuel? I mean, it's even racing fuel. You're not going to race out here at the International Speedway with the gas you get for your Suburban. You're just not going to do it. But the thing I want to talk to you about today is the power share in your lobby. Okay, we got it all set up. We now have 7 chairs sitting out there. They're protecting your mind. You're working strong. And number 8 is coming. And here's what it is. Now be careful. Listen carefully. And I want to cross some of you because I want to nudge you out into the success that God has already planned for you. And I want to help you make that work for you. All right? You ready? 2 words. Desperation or ambition. Now, I've operated in both of them. I've operated absolutely in both desperation and ambition. But here's the question you ask. If measured by the way you go after your goals, as if your life were dependent on it, how would you respond? Let that sink in. If you were measured by the way you go after your goal, if your life were dependent upon it, how would you respond? Think about it. Do you go after it in an ambitious manner, steadily walking toward it? You see, these words that I'm speaking, when heard from a Christian pulpit, oh, don't be desperate, don't have desperation, oh, that's a bad word, don't have ambition, that's a bad word. Hey, that's not right. Use these 2 words, but there's a different time to put your pedal to the metal or to fuel up and go with desperation or ambition. If you can categorize ambition properly in your mind, you will know that it's not your ambition, but a godly ambition. A goal that you want to see. I mean, let's look at the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul was bound by a prophet. I mean, he came and bound him all up. And he said, if you take this trip, you're going to go and you're going to be bound this way, and they're going to throw you into jail. And Paul said, I have to go. It was a godly ambition. He had to move forward. He was not being moved by desperation, because desperation is the way that a lot of us go after it. We get up early because if there was nothing desperate, we wouldn't move at all. I remember leaving one segment of the ministry and heading to another segment. And I had a little jingle jangle in my pocket, and I had a daughter, and I had a wife, and we had a little time in between things. And I remember the Lord speaking to me and say, you're now at your most dangerous place. And I said, well, what is that? I love you, Lord. I'm going to be the same guy. He said, oh no. You don't have the routine of staff meetings. You don't have the routine of going to church on Wednesday. You don't have, I was in my 30s. You don't have the routine of going to Sunday morning. If you want to preach, you pick up the phone, you book, and somebody has you come. If you don't want to go, you don't go. You stay home. Nothing's going to change for a little while. But when things started getting desperate, when the meal barrel ran dry, wow, now I went after it. And I learned a valuable lesson that's come back to bless me and has become a chair in the lobby of my mind. I have godly ambition toward many things. If you follow me closely, you talk to me very often, you're going to find out I'm switched on by ministrylaunch.com. I am passionate about preachers, entrepreneurs, people who have strong hopes to help humanity, getting in the 501c3 vein, using all that our government has for you, being able to build and operate correctly something that will help humanity and get souls saved and bring forth some lightening of the load that we live under here in this world we live on. So, I have a godly ambition. If you listen longer, you'll know that I want everybody to go to Community Bible Institute and learn the basics of the Bible. Make sure you have a strong grip on the New Testament, that you can be asked 4 questions or 25 questions with 4 answers each on each chapter of the New Testament, and just figure out if you've got the right answers. Just know I don't care how long you served God, been in church, went to Sunday school, la, 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 la. There has to be a repetitive, authoritative action on your part that will ensure your success. So if you talk to me very long, things are going to poke up. If I talk to you very long, what am I going to hear? I'm going to hear how you measure the way you're going after things, the way you're going after your goal. And then I hear you when your life depends on it. I see how you respond then. I got to get going now. I got to get moving. Well, that's just human life. But there is a better way. And the better way is to not be moved by desperation. Now let's talk about your mind. We talked about you as a person and what comes on you in the middle of the night or comes and hits you, and you think, wow, oh man, what am I going to do? That's one thing. But what about what other people bring to you? You've heard it. Why don't you put it into action? Just because you failed to plan doesn't mean that I failed to plan. And just because you're all upset doesn't mean that I have to get upset with you. Because you cannot control the ambition of another person. And you don't know how they worked with repetitive, authoritative actions. They may have been repetitively, authoritatively acting on their demise. I can tell you that there are people that have had enough advice to build a skyscraper, yet they have not built a tent city. I can tell you that there are people who had great God ideas, but if you talk to them, they're going to always want to go back to yesterday, to a season in their life when everything was working and working and working and working together. Why? Because they don't realize what was happening when they were having those great days. They came by either desperation or a godly ambition. Now the men of the world, the women of the world, they push themselves in desperation, and they have ambition to go and live on a yacht or this or that or the other. You don't have that. Your ambition is to serve people, is to serve God, and to leave a legacy. Soon to come from ministrylaunch.com, the independent Christian churches, soon to come is a way to create an endowment fund so that your ministry can live on beyond after you forever and ever and ever. You say, oh, that'd be a dream. Yes, but if you don't set up yourself in your ambitious mode to say, somebody, if I open the door of a bank account that's for an endowment fund, I will have a donor that will push my ministry into things 25, 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years down the road, should God tarry. So that's a godly ambition. What is your desperation today? Put this chair in your lobby and say, I will not be moved by desperation. I will be moved by godly ambition. I will not be moved by others' desperation and others' ambitions. I will only be moved by that which I do, repetitively, authoritatively, bringing godly actions on my part that will ensure my success. Now, I've set you up today. I've set you up to, guys. It's kind of like one of those, am I desperate? And I can tell you, to the man who has been desperate so many times and so many years of my life, I operated out of desperation, worked 20 hours a day, slept 4 to 5 hours a night. I know the drill. Did it and told everybody I was enjoying it, and I really was, until my health broke, my mind broke, la la la. God had nothing to do with that. I was being driven by my own ambition. But when I began to bring the priorities and the decisions of my realities to bear, when I began to bring my visions and dreams, then God began to prioritize me, and then I began to make repetitive, authoritative, godly actions, and they ensured some success. Do I still fight? Oh, yes. But when I do, I go sit in that chair and I say, is this desperation or ambition? Or is it godly ambition? It can be measured by the way a person goes after a goal as if their life depends on it. God bless you. You're going to make it. Keep your head up.